Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today we're going to talk about men and work, the intersection of ambition and masculinity, and why so many men are losing. One of the things that a lot of men miss now, what we have in this current economic climate, first of all, I want to discuss income. I posted something on my Facebook page. Matter of fact, let me pull that up. And it got a lot of heat. Got a lot of people who were interested in it. And let me find it. All right. So let's get into it. Just pulled this from a MGTOW video, but they keep saying I'm wrong. No ambition and broke. Most men don't need more than 40K a year to be happy. If they're single, enough money to pay the bills, a few toys and hobbies, and some beers, and we're happy. I don't want to fight to make 100K just so someone else will like me. I don't need that much money to be happy. And look at all these replies. And once again, this is a lack of ambition. And when you go to the dude's channel, it's about video games. It's about video games. Something has happened with men. Something has happened that is from a social standpoint because men used to be go-getters. A man would like get up and go out and look for work and make something happen. Now, socially, we've changed in that regard because we've gotten rid of the manufacturing base. But I just looked at that and, going ahead, sticking with income. Most of America is poor or close to it. So when, dudes come at me talking about, yo, man, I know some MGTOWs, like, statistically, it ain't true. Statistically, when I say most MGTOW lack ambition and are broke, I'm on point from a statistical standpoint because 150 million people in this country are working. 75 to 80 million make less than $33,000 a year. These are statistical facts. So over half don't really make any money. And to be happy as a single man on 40K, let me calculate that. To be happy. Because I asked some people who were saying that they could feel a dude. So 40K a year divided by 12 is minus, let's say, 15%. Whoops. 40K, let me do it this way. Minus 15% divided by 12. So that's $2,500 per month. The average rent across America is $1,000 minus 1,000. 2,500 minus 1,000. The average car payment is $500 minus 500. That leaves $1,000 for food. So minus $300 for food if you be. So that's $700. This is one of the things that has happened. Because during this research, when I was looking at the people who were saying all this, there was always this link between making more money and women. There was always this link. Even in his comment, let me go ahead and go back to it. I don't want to make 100K just so someone else will like me. I don't need that much money to be happy. This is something that the MGTOWs and Red Pills consistently do. My boy Alan Roger Curry broke down the tenets of MGTOW, like the 5 tenets. Go over to his channel, check it out. And there is no consensus to what MGTOW is. There's no agreement. There's got all these guys with all these ideals. The monk, the guys who don't mess with women, the guys who pump and dump. But it always comes back to women. But men are supposed to be going their own way. Why does every comment, virtually every comment's like this? It always comes back to women, so someone else will like me. What about making money for yourself? And I'm about to give you a strong example of why you need to make some money. It's going to be a little dark, but I had a heart attack earlier this year. And because I am well-to-do and I live in a well-to-do neighborhood and I went to the best hospital in town, I had the best doctor, I've made a full recovery. Money had everything to do with that. Proximity had everything to do with that. There are many people, and my doctor has told me this. He's like, there's a lot of men who've had the heart attack you've had who couldn't go back to work. Had to go on disability if they made it. That is, because a lot of men don't survive what you survive, let alone make this. His doctor was saying you're like a miracle, and I was like, well, I've got the best doctor in town. See, getting money isn't about just having a bunch of money in your wallet. Money creates an environment of proximity and access. I went to the best hospital for this. I had the best doctor. That wasn't an accident. And when I go to my doctor and I'm in the waiting room, I don't see no Medicaid patients. I don't know if they take Medicaid or not. I don't know. But whenever I'm in the waiting room, I see all these they look well-to-do. When I go to my doctor's office, all I see in the garage are Mercedes, BMWs. These are retired people who are driving these vehicles, big old SUVs. So getting money ain't about getting women. Getting money is about having a healthy, productive, and great life. Look at the situation. We've talked about this a lot. Average income for half of the people is $27,000 to $33,000 a year. These people are living on the extension of credit, which brings a lot of stress. A lot of stress. They're wondering where their next, how they're going to pay rent, how they're going to pay the car note. These folks are consistently stressed, don't have access to health care, don't have access to resources, have access to predatory loans that cost them significantly way more money than a traditional loan or credit card. Like I was looking over some of these secured card terms out here. There's this one card that offers you a $500 limit, but they charge like $250 a year in fees. They charge a monthly card, just to have a card, there's a monthly fee. I got my Chase, American Express. They don't charge me a fee to have these cards. Matter of fact, because when I use these cards, I get a benefit. It is crazy. What's up, Christian? Matt Gresham, 40K is no money. That dude still lives at home, I bet. I wouldn't be surprised. Money, Jones, I need 80K. Fear of failure, Yvonne Diva. Outsource future matter. Video games and apps make a lot of money. For a precious few. Video games only makes, you got to be in the top 1% of video game players to make any money. Just you play, no, he ain't in the top percent. Something like playing with video games and apps doesn't make anything. Absolutely. Something like 40K is about 25K after a month. Money Jones, we need 150 or more. I always want to make more than you need. Money Jones, it depends on the area he lives in. He could be happy where, if he's living in a trailer, if he's living up in a trailer park, Superwoman Behing. Also, I develop games and apps I play. Trust me, video games industry makes a ton of money. Most of the people who are playing video games, which is what he does, he plays video games, ain't making no money. This dude is a damn moron, probably lives with his mother. If any medical, any type of emergencies happen, this dude's up shit creek without a paddle. Pretty much. Because once again, my big problem with the MGTOW community is all of these comments are based upon something that hasn't happened, or more than likely. If I get money, the woman is going to take my money. Or she may like me because I got money, so I'm going to avoid that. There's no way on God's green earth for real dominant man want to live only 40K a year. Been there, done that, struggle my ass off. Matt Gresham, one bad accident could turn his world upside down on 40K income. Now, no one even factors in emergencies. Charles Johnson, anything under 75K a year is broke. Ollie Bucks, 40K is basically a 2,000, 30K millionaire. I'll flash those savings and a ton of debt. Something like you aren't saving anything at 40K. Make 100 say so you can like you. Pretty much. Something like pretty much half of America is not in an economic position to invest. When you're making 30 something thousand dollars a year and most of your income is going to live, it is very hard to get out of that trap. It's very hard to scale up. Bird for the cool. Why is this obsession with MGTOW and red pill? Obsession? Let's see. I've got 3,000 videos on this channel and I have like 2 or 3 about MGTOW. Your definition of obsession, you know why I'm doing this? Because every time I make a video talking about making money or I make a video talking about getting with women, they come out the woodwork. It's not an obsession. It's a clap back to the little bitches. And if you don't like the content, you can go somewhere else. Because let me peep you to a little secret here. There's more than enough content on this channel if you will watch and more importantly, take action where you could get money. Already on the channel. This channel is 10 years old. So there's tons of content for you if you watch the videos and take action so you can get some money. So my question, if you've been around a while, how come you have no money? Because all these people is like, hey, I just want to hear about the money, how we get money. I've told you several ways. Start a service business. Sell on eBay. I've told you. How come you have no money? Why do you need more knowledge? Because you're information junkies. You want to get more information, but you're not taking action. You can read 12 books and become a millionaire if you take action. So I'm going to be on this MGTOW red pill thing because there's a lot of men in the MGTOW red pill men who kind of cross over and they cross over the wrong way. Obsession. You need to look up the word obsession. prosperous musician. It made all the difference in the world. I mean, I had a little setback. I went to my doctor. He gave me one bill. In literally 14 hours, I was feeling better. He knew exactly what to do. Jerome Carter, making money is easy, keeping it is hard. Jerome Carter, have top flight insurance. Gunja, my friend didn't understand why I'm not buying any more video games. I had to tell him it's a time waster for me these days. Just working to get clients is a lot of work itself. I don't know, Jerome. I don't know. Quinn Jackson, I make decent money, got money shit together, but I've never had a chick that I smash try to run game on me for money. See, here's something else that getting money gives you. Confidence! It gives you confidence. You can't buy this. All right, Bruce Leroy, I started a service business installing video systems, stereo systems. Good. Mike Dunk, you're MGTOW by definition? By definition, I am not MGTOW. I have a channel called Disruptive Male talking about if you want to have a girlfriend, I'll help you. If you want to get married, I'll help you. Those are the antithesis of many of the things that MGTOW hold dear, because if you go to any MGTOW video, you will see something about not getting married, pump and dump. I don't want to make any money. I don't want to participate in the game, in the social game of becoming ambitious and making money, because I might get with some women and she may stick me for my paper. There ain't no way that I could be even close to MGTOW. Don't even put that shit on me. Yvonne Diva, MGTOW and other bitter dudes are teaching these young dudes out here to be worthless non-achiever. There needs to be clap back. That's the point I'm making. I'm going to say this again. Yvonne Diva, MGTOW and other bitter dudes are teaching these young dudes out here to be worthless non-achievers. And this is what's happening. You have men who are not working, because there's like 12% of the men are not working, hadn't had a job, ain't looking for a job, and they're just existing in these MGTOW forums. Mike Dunro, any man not caping on their grind is MGTOW. Really? Y'all trying to you're trying to claim everybody. Most of these dudes on Twitch watching other people play video games, working 2 jobs, man, they had to work overtime. The definition of MGTOW is a sliding scale at best. It is extremely sliding scale. It's everywhere. Aces. Service business work, I make the most of mine in the appliance business. Ian Smith, I started a home-based business servicing Fortune 500 customers for customer service. Money Jones, I would not try to mess with cars in today's economy. Ben the bartender, they be donating big money. Joe Augustine, MGTOW, man, MGTOW is just for a bitter old white boss. Now I see Asians getting into it. Red Pill Gladiator, why do you keep coming back here? Now that's funny. Y'all trying to claim a successful man. And for the record, I don't pay sugar babies. Clearly, you haven't listened to all of the commentary on the other channel. Direct descendant of Solomon rebuked. That's funny. That is funny. A lot of MGTOWs don't live by themselves. A lot of MGTOWs live with chicks. They're only MGTOW online. They're not MGTOW in real life. Going back to my boy Alan Roger Curry, he did a video, and there was this one thing that he said that you get the finger is all of these MGTOW guys who are saying don't have a girlfriend, don't get married, don't live with a woman. He said you get the finger. Because, see, this is one of the big issues I have with MGTOW, is they're trying to tell you not to be with women because they don't know how to be with women. And there's a direct causation between income and ambition. There's a direct correlation. I did a video talking about Byron Allen. And, he just lays it all out because he had good models for a work ethic. And this is one of the things, going back to what Diva said, a lot of these old bitter dudes are teaching these young dudes to be worthless. Don't go to school. Don't get money. Don't build nothing because, if you build some money, the woman or the government going to take it from you. That's problematic. Quinn Jackson, there's a lot of black dudes in MGTOW, but it's mostly white dudes. A lot of these titles make them feel emboldened like they defy the category. That's funny. Gunja, I know certain MGTOW groups promoting bisexuality. I see MGTOW as a cult. And once again, I get people who watch the videos and take a little bit because I've clearly said that I met someone on one of these sugar daddy, sugar baby websites, got to smash her during lunch hour, ain't paid her a thing. See, this is once the thing. Once you get ambition, once you build yourself, once you get your game up, then you will get to a certain level of confidence that will enable you to pull, attract, woo, and smash women that you can't as a basic do-nothing dude. This is the thing I'm trying to tell you. And once again, there's this direct causation because, see, it used to be that American men were extremely ambitious. A guy who could be pumping gas at the gas station, his ambition was to own that gas station. These guys have no ambition. None. They're just like, I want to lay around. I want to play video games. I want to get a lifestyle where I have plenty of free time. And the way that they're achieving this is van life. I've talked about that. Van life is more about money than freedom. There are some people who live in the van because they want to travel and they want to experience it. That's very few of them. Most of them are living in the van because of the money. Get you a van, don't have to pay rent, drive around. This is all about money, van life. I don't have any money, so I'm going to live in my van. That is how it is going down. That's how it's shaping up. And many of these guys are not, going back to the comment that Diva made. Bitter old men out here trying to turn these young dudes into worthless non-achievers. Guns, if you don't want to be with women, you start to get horny. Who are you going to be with? Animals? Men? Good Lord. Christian, we got into the point in history where there's a lot of weak men out here who don't want to produce and use women as excuses not to come up. Scarface says it is the shoe fits, lace it up. Damn. Joe Augustine, it comes out to money and education and knowing your rights. Aces, no green, no swag. You don't have to be Chad or Tyrone. Victor Rio, war at late age in life without the support of system and many sons of corroboration in this economy is historically uncharted. Turfa Orga, not surprising. Unbeknownst to them, they're practicing the Luciferian doctrine, which defined as the reversal of natural order. This is something that I have said that they're going against the grand design. The system was set up by God. If you've got a problem with this, take it up with Him. But this is how it's been set up, and they're going against the natural order of the system, which is going to cause problems. Roderick, feminism killed male ambition, but that's no excuse as a male. Feminism, I don't know about that. Quentin, yo, bisexual, that makes sense, and African men going their own way. Ben the bartender, van down the river. If you want to go to a cuck society, look at Europe. Ollie Brooks. A lot of YouTubers who got big off MGTOW 2 to 5 3 years ago took the label out of their username, vid titles to stop talking about it. Slowly they realized the movement went to a dump. You've got a lot of guys who are part of the movement who are worthless. Don't be with women. Don't make any money. Don't become an accountable man. Don't participate in society. Opt out. Take your ball and go home. That's the overwhelming majority. Ben Herbert Scott. MGTOW, van life, minimalism, all brokeisms. Get your money up and you don't need a title. Birth of cool, no ambition, probably because they were raised by single mothers. Lack of masculinity, 50% of men are raised by single mothers. Henry James, MGTOW red pill mindset is prevalent among many younger Japanese men with similar complaints has triggered the economic stagnation, declining marriage rates, and a demographic crisis. I think MGTOW is the product of men who don't have any direction in life. They most likely don't know how to build, even get women in life, so they just tap out. There's a lot of weakness with this movement because, once again, here's my situation. I went through a divorce. I ended up homeless, but I fought back. And many of these dudes are tapping out. They're not fighting back. And that is not the essence of a man, to not fight back. These dudes are not fighting back. They're opting out. They're refusing to participate. They're getting out of the situation. They're getting out of the system. And that is creating a bad, look at Japan. A lot of these men opted out and their society started to collapse. This is what we have going on here, except America has so many economic engines that it's going to take a lot of time for this to happen, if it ever happens. But once again, you need to get you some money. If you're a man, you need about getting your money. And it ain't about so someone will like you. Like, again, I just gave you the prognosis of my heart attack. If I didn't have money, who knows the hell would have happened? Because this is something else I see around here. I have a lot of elderly neighbors who live in these big old houses, who got money, who get the best health care, they have the best information, and they're living long, fruitful, happy lives. This whole notion that, because every time I put up something, it's like, well, rich people, all their kids on drugs. None of these kids around here on drugs. A lot of these folks are married and been married for years and not getting divorced. I think this is stuff, that, you get money, your family's going to be messed up. It is mostly poor people who are getting divorced. It's not the wealthy people who are getting divorced. It's mostly poor people. I wonder why. Could it be because you don't have any money? Could it be because there's always financial stress in your life? Could it be that your wife doesn't respect you as a man because you can't protect and provide? Yeah, I said that. Because the grand order is for men to lead, to protect, and provide. And a lot of these guys are going counter to the grand order. And they're suffering because one of the things is MGTOWs have become bullies. Just like this clown, this red pill gladiator, was trying to assign the label of MGTOW on me. They're like, oh, you MGTOW, but you don't know it. And they try to do the same thing to Alan Roger Curry. They try to, because see, what they want to do is create proximity. I'm a successful, happy individual. So they want to align MGTOW with someone like me or Alan Roger Curry to make the movement look better than it really is, because it's just a movement full of losers and weak ass men. Not all of them, but the majority of them are weak. Because if you have a problem with women, you should be seeking information to address and solve that problem, not tapping out. And this is why tapping out ain't going to work for most of them. Your biological imperative, when you see this cute little girl with these firm breasts and your junk wiggles, they ain't going away, bruh. You could go MGTOW, throw up your MGTOW gang signs, red pill gang signs all day. But the right cutie is going to make your junk get excited. They ain't going away. That's the grand design. So you could come on YouTube, get with your MGTOW buddy, your red pill buddies, and y'all can say all this stuff about, which is, and I did a video on this, talking about that a lot of this stuff was hate speech. If you go to any MGTOW video and just listen and read, you will see the hate. A lot of these dudes hate women. Hate, not dislike, not uncomfortable with their behavior, downright hate women because they can't get what they want from women. So they go to this dark place. Ganja, I don't know what's going to happen. There is no excuse to abandon life production with its interaction with the opposite sex. Christian, MGTOW excuses are monuments of nothingness. They build bridges to nowhere. Those are those who use the tools of incompetence, seldom become anything at all. Subscribe to being a dominant man. Amen. Sounds a cipher cats are slacking on their macking. James R. Roderick, correction. Feminism only killed the ambition to lead a nuclear family. A man's ambition should be derived from a source greater than a woman. Absolutely. MGTOW as a collective should emerge from the cocoon and embrace their inner butterfly. Most of these dudes don't realize you can't tell off the bat for women is about money. Indeed, exactly what sodomites do to attempt to include everyone in their indomitable movement. Pretty much, James R. Herbert Scott. These white boys could play that MGTOW game, clean up at 45, and take over. A black man renders himself near useless and ostracized if he attempts the same. Ask any ex-convict. MGTOW is a total scam. Wow. Oh, it is very wild over there, Thomas. Liberty Life, 30 days to 2,500. They'll help you out. Marvin, I'm listening to your live stream in the supermarket, and the real pill just asked me, who's that? May bought 2 used SUVs, make it 40K net without driving. Buying 2 more next spring. It's not hard to earn your laziness into 2K America. Ganja, women are very predictable if you know what to look for. Pretty much. T1 Fitness. If only these guys knew that working on themselves and economics would take them really far. I'm currently seeing women who know about each other, yet they both still crazy about me. I'm here to tell you, what you can do out here as a dominant, economically sound man is ridiculous. And once again, these articles are talking about why marriage rates are going down, and it's because of the lack of economically viable men. Have got these MGTOWs and red pills all up in their feelings, and it's true. You have a lot of men out there who are not trying to succeed. It's true. They're not trying to succeed. They're not trying to build anything. They're not trying to have anything. They're not trying to create any legacies. And the women, based upon, like, go over to my channel, Disruptive Male, a woman was designed to root out weak sperm, bad genes. So if you're out here living with your mom in the basement, you have no accomplishments, you don't have your own place, you're not living your best life, she ain't gonna be interested in you. With the same dude, regardless of how he looks, if he goes out, gets his own crib, he's got a little business, he's economically sound, all kind of women become interested in you because you give off a different vibe. Like, I dress like this most of the time, but my vibe is that of success. My vibe is that of abundance. My vibe is, because I have no problems. Like, just start speaking to a woman. I never have any problems. I've never had a woman like, I am not going to talk to you. That's never happened. You got all kinds of stuff out here that many men don't understand. Because a lot of men, and going back to Diva's comment, they're operating on bad faith and bad information. Ron the Stalker. These men like vaginas, but that's what's attached to it. Good Lord. Ganja, I wonder if these Me Too dudes have real life hobbies that make them go outside and get off the internet. Obviously, no. What's up, Pody? Jane, Jarrett, Mitchell, black men especially need to stop subscribing to the bullshit or end up getting wiped off the earth. Pretty much. The theory does make sense, but how do you explain the guys where some women choose to parade who are dusty? I guess women like Home Depot projects. Women like Build a Man projects. There's many different kind of women out there. Bertha Cool. Glenn, do you agree with the MGTOW analysis of female behavior? First of all, Which analysis? What are we talking about? Because see, this is another issue with MGTOW. There's so many tenets. There's so many doctrines. What are we talking about? It's sad to see these grown men acting like sterilized bitches. Pretty much. I remember, and I think I love my wife, where a dude said you lose a lot of women, a lot of money chasing women, but you never lose money chasing money. Wow, Maxine Augustine. For some reason, people like to brag that they're from the hood because of hip hop music. Thing is, though, that you do literally let people know that you take pride in being poor. That's that tribalism that I talk about. You got a lot of people out there who represent, like New Yorkers, to me, are the worst about that. I'm from Yonkers. I'm from the Bronx. I'm from 126th Street, 127. And they claim that and wear it like a badge, but it means that you grew up poor and you were poor for a long time. Absolutely. I personally think if 70% of MGTOW guys spend 9% of the time offline and go outside, MGTOW would die off. That's a good point because a lot of this is online only. A lot of this, in terms of MGTOW, but in terms of the men who are not looking for jobs, who are not looking to build a business, who like that whole comment. Let me go back to it. I mean, that right there. Most men don't need more than 40K a year to be happy. If you're single, enough money to pay the bills, a few hobbies, a few toys, hobbies, and some beers, and we're happy. That's laziness. That's a lack of ambition because happiness doesn't come from money. It comes from doing things that produce money. Like when I wrote my first book, I didn't make a penny. It was just, I was so happy. I spun around in the basement like a little kid because I had wrote a book. Happiness comes from accomplishment. And if you sitting at home playing video games, you ain't doing anything except examining and landing your navel, how the hell are you going to be happy? It just to me sounds like laziness and a lack of ambition. Laziness. A lot of these dudes are lazy. They don't groom. They don't take care of themselves. It's just pure lazy, pure otherless lazy. Facts. I never met a person in real life claiming they MGTOW. You got a lot of these guys out here. And once again, I just tool that coming off of just one video. If you go to MGTOW videos, you will see this kind of behavior and mindset all over the place. I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to make more money. I want a lot of free time so I can sit around and not be stressed. So I can be a loser. I can be a loser. I like being a loser. It feels good. I'm going to bathe myself in loser juice. I'm not going to do anything because so many of these puppies, and back to Diva's comment that they're indoctrinating younger men who have not been raped by family court. If you look at the divorce stats, it's young people who get married who have no money that divorce. So you go out here and you get this guy out here who's still in the building stages of life. And once again, I recommend that men don't get married until they get their lives together. You have a solid economic base, you're out of debt, you get married, married later in life with some money, you stay married longer. Just facts. I mean, go ahead and look at the stats. But these MGTOW dudes, unfortunately, many have overdosed on fraudulent YouTube rhetoric. I would agree. Oh, yes, Jared, there's a bunch of them. Think money is a tool that gives you access to better things: business opportunity, quality submissive women, quality housing, better friends who will help you in your time of need, help you achieve your goals. Hey, one of the big things is this intersection where I'm seeing it. We have a whole group of men who are lost. And this is why they come to this channel and nut up. Because one of the things about them is they're full of feminine energy. And maybe this is why they don't like women, because, likes are polar opposites. Because they will come on this channel, they will call me names, they will go off on me. I've not mentioned any names. I've just mentioned my viewpoint on the ability of a certain men and the lack of ambition. And they come in this channel and they go crazy. They go nuts. They start losing it. They start nutting up like crazy. And a good part of this is I'm a mirror. I'm a mirror, and I am representing what they hate about themselves. Randall, it's crazy how much both genders are trying to fight against what we're evolutionary designed to do. There's a lot of truth in that comment. There's a lot of truth in that. Because like I said, this younger generation of women is very different than the previous generation. Like I said, these young girls are more equitable, and I just think that they're seeing what's happened to mom, dad, big sister, their older brothers and stuff, and they're like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be like that. I'm not going to sell myself out like that. I'm not going to set myself up like that. And here's something else too. The amount of sex that these current groups are having is less than previous generations. Boomers were a horny group of people. A lot of sex. And it has been reduced because a lot of these kids are not having sex because they've seen what happens. Groove Dodger. Statistics says average marriage lasts is 8 years. Is worth investing half your shit. Groove Dodger, first thing is, most people don't have anything. A lot of these marriages, like my marriage ended up, it cost me a lot in terms of personal, but we didn't have assets. We didn't have nothing to split up. Elba Star Poet, folks be on Section 8 waiting for a handout if they work part-time instead of reporting it to Section 8 so they can pay a portion of their rent. They rather spend it on weed. Once again, most of these MGTOW dudes talking about, they don't have nothing. They don't have nothing. All they have is debt. They don't have anything. If the average divorce, unless there's children involved, the woman gets nothing. She goes her own way. That's what happens in most of these cases. Groove Dodger, it cost me big in your divorce. What did you lose? Did you lose rental property? Did you lose stocks and bonds? Did you lose investments? Ebba Star Pro. Well, the girls you're talking about are rare because I witnessed these girls sleeping with guys for weed and alcohol. Go back to proximity. I live in a wealthy neighborhood. I don't see that kind of stuff. These girls around here are not sleeping with people for weed. Mommy and daddy got them, so they don't have to do that. So that's once again proximity. You should also observe what I'm talking about based upon my environment. I don't live in a ghetto ass environment. There are no girls around here turning tricks for weed. You can't divide by zero, pretty much. So once again, it's proximity, and once again, I really agree with Diva's comment that these bitter old dudes are indoctrinating these young men into being non-achievers. Don't you start no business. Don't go to college. Don't start trying to make a lot of money. Be like me. Be a loser. Be a loser, man. Get your loser T-shirt, loser for life T-shirt, and be like me. Because this is one of the things that I have seen is the bullying tactics of MGTOW. They try to tell men who are happy, because I remember there was this dude was like, hey, I got a girlfriend. She's a good girlfriend. And all these dudes slid into, you don't know. She's a slut. She's had more dick than you know. And they don't know this man. They don't know his girlfriend, but they came out with all these assumptions and just went after this dude because he had a girlfriend and he was happy with his girlfriend. How dare you be happy with a woman? How dare you? So there's this common thought by many MGTOW and red pill men that all women are sluts. Here's the real math on that. If a woman got married early, more than likely her sexual partners in her lifetime is going to be under 20. Not exactly slut behavior. True sluts are rare. And I've run into some of them. My girl, I could just roll over to her house and get a blowjob. She was a true slut. She was an unabashed true slut. Those are rare. Most women want or need a connection to have sex with you. Most. The majority. Victoria. Some of these men have a conscious and conviction of selling the idols of success, selling or Babylon for personal gains. They're in the woods crying out for Eden's dimension and technology that's Eve shunned. What's up, King Nick? You know, one of the things is that German soul, the type of music people listen to, also has a big influence on their behavior and lifestyle. I agree with that because type of music and the content that they consume. Because whenever I get these whack comments, I go to the channel, I see World Star, I see video games. Yeah, I mean, it could be a trip. I'm a rather great listener to observe how these hot ass girls are doing. Once again, it just depends upon your environment. It depends upon your proximity. And this is why I preach get your money up, get yourself into a position where you can start achieving wealth. All right, King Nick. Yeah, that Byron Allen thing, check out the Byron Allen interview on the Breakfast Club. I mean, he breaks it down. He gives you a blueprint for success, for a successful life. Randall, the journey to becoming rich is so much more valuable and rewarding than the money itself. I'm learning to flow with life more. Absolutely. The cast of the decadent females is set. Is side piece, community pussy, old hoe, true slut. Once again, true sluts are very rare. You get it like the girls who do porn. They actually in porn 6 months. That's why you always seeing these new phrases because they wear them out. They get into it and they like the money, and then once they see what really happens to it, they begin to they come out of it. Every girl on YouTube who talks, does a channel about how to be a stripper, giving stripper information, once they start making YouTube money, Instagram money, they stop stripping. They get out of it. They get out of it. They move away from it. Males from middle class neighborhoods come into the hood to trick off with these beautiful ghetto girls for chump change, weed, and alcohol. I would probably say that would be true because it's hard to get stuff from the girls in their neighborhoods. So I would say there's probably some truth to that. But once again, gentlemen, get your purpose together. Start working on life. Start building something. And a lot of your problems would disappear because you got so many men out here who are not trying. They're really not trying. Like, essentially, one of the reasons I have it so good, and someone put up there, like, hey, why help these dudes out? Competition. I don't really have any competition. That's the way I see it. I don't have any competition. Because you meet a woman, she's going to like you or she's not going to like you. There's a lot of dudes out here. I mean, it's so easy once you become a dominant, economically stable man to get with these chicks. It is easier than shooting fish in a barrel. And I'm just here to tell you the things that you can do if you level your game up and not listen to these MGTOW and red pill fools. Because they come to the channel and they get a little salty because I'm talking about the way that they live. Christian, I believe the reason most marriages don't last is because most people marry prematurely. Most people who marry broken don't have anything to offer each other. Pretty much that's the group, because the young people who get married who don't have any stability, it's just too much stress. I mean, I want you to think about it. This is what some married couples go through every month. They worry about paying the rent. They worry about paying their car notes every month. And you got all this stress. That it just crumbles the marriage. Like, going back to my heart attack. Only stress I had was that of the heart attack. I didn't have any economic stress. I didn't have to worry about paying my car notes because they were paid. My cars were paid for when I drove them off the lot. I didn't have to worry about economic stress. I didn't have to worry how the bills were going to get paid. I had to worry about getting better. I had to worry about healing up. I mean, I laid around for like a month and money was coming in. I was like a retired person. And this was just from decisions that I had made earlier. This is how the game was set up. But once again, do not be one of these loser dudes. Do not listen to MGTOW. Do not listen to Red Pill. Go out and live your best life. If you're a heterosexual male, you're going to want to be with women. These are facts. It's not going to disappear. It ain't going to disappear. It ain't going nowhere. So you can make yourself the best version of yourself to become the best option where you don't have these problems, or you could keep being low expectation, low achieving. And environment is a big part of this, because if you grow up, this is why I'm so against living in the hood. And this is why I'm against hood culture and hood indoctrination, because it doesn't set you up or position you for success. It just doesn't. Elba Star Poet. There are people with money that are miserable. Yeah. But there are more poor, miserable people than people with money. I guarantee it. Because, let's say you got 100 millionaires in the room and 3 are miserable. Those are people with money who are miserable. let's say you got 1,000 poor people. How many of those poor people are going to be miserable? Most. Working jobs they hate, doing shit they every day they don't want to do because they broke. They don't have the options of doing what they want to do. I guarantee you, there are more miserable poor people than there are miserable rich people. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Nicholas. There are people with money that are miserable, lonely, and spiritually dead. Once again, I would counter. I guarantee you that there are more miserable poor people. Because this is one of the things that happens. People be acting like being poor is cool. Being poor is a happy time. Being poor is one of the most expensive things you can do in America. The stress levels through the roof. It's just not a good look. It's just not a good look. You know, you have a ton of poor people out here who are living horrible lives. Because, you know, I was watching this thing with the CEO of McDonald's and his wife, and they both grew up in the projects of Chicago. And they were talking. She said it was a great childhood. It was an honest childhood. I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world. And this is what people say. Now that she's successful. Thank you, Jeremy Binion. Good information. Keep Richard for the $3 super chat. Elba Star Poet, there are people living nomad lives who are in peace. I'm going to disagree with you on that because a lot of them are living these lives because they don't have any money. Ron the Stockist, the vetting process must be serious. I get vetted in the grocery store. There must be a quality surge. Could be. Phillips Lewis, joined late. MGTOWs are bitter incels. I was an incel till I joined the military. It gave me three things: financial security, life missions, and physical fitness. I have a wife and 5 kids who love me. There you go. Nicholas Finn, you expend energy and time doing shit that you don't like. I've done so many jobs: washes, dishes, folded clothes, drove Uber, package handle for FedEx. Expat crypto. Money doesn't buy happiness, but it does buy options. Lack of options causes immense stress. Choosing between food and paying for utilities. And this is a situation that poor people are in every month. You can't tell me that's happiness. Now I'm a consultant. I made more money in 2 months than I did all my jobs combined. Congratulations, Nicholas. You know, once again, don't be one of these dudes. You know, go out, get on your purpose, build something, create something. Because once again, let me go ahead and do this. This live stream was sponsored by Hustlers Kung Fu University. Go in and look around. I suggest you go ahead and get the Money Management, the Basics of Finance and Wealth Development. That's the starting course. Then you get 30 days for $2,500 so you can level up your money. And you can get 50% off by using the promo code MONEY. One of the things that you got to look at and understand is success leaves clues. And by becoming successful, yes, you will be stressed out more than if you just sit around and do nothing. Absolutely. But you can adapt to stress. Just like people adapt to being lazy, sitting around not doing anything. And one of the fallacies is that the poor and the tribalism of poor is they tell themselves that they're happier than rich folks. That I'm sitting around, I've not done anything, I'm not living my best life, I live a life of lack, I'm always short on money, but somehow I am happier than this person who lives in $1 million house that has all this money. Now, I will address the people who are unhappy, the people who got into businesses that they did just for the money. Typically, these are the people who are unhappy, but someone who got on their purpose, built up a business, built up a great family life, they're happy. They're very happy. I see it every day. So, once again, go to Hustlers Kung Fu Life Skills, use the promo code MONEY to get 50% off, and start working on your economic life. Because once again, you got a lot of folks out here who are not doing, they're not even trying. It ain't even an issue of, work it. They're not even trying. They're not even trying. So go ahead and try and get your life together, set your money up, set your life up, build a business, get yourself some more money, and start living your best life. This is Glendon Cameron. I'll see you guys later.